So thank you very much for being here, and thank you to the Social Innovation Summit for letting us announce our winners annually. I appreciate that very much. But before I announce the winners, I wanted to tell you a little bit about them, the kind of people they are, and what it takes to be a leader in social impact. So last time I was here, for the folks who weren't here last year, but last time I was here, I talked about a man in Japan that built this phone booth after the 2011 tsunami that took 800 lives and kept 400 missing still. He realized that people were really suffering and in pain, that there was a need for them to connect with the dead. So he built this phone booth so that they can talk to their dead and have closure. He realized that they're suffering, and he had passion for his people. So if you can remember that word, passion. I'm going to be switching gears a lot, so you can keep up with me. So, and I have to learn how to use this thing. So does anybody know what that is? It's a water pump. Thank you, Zeev. So I grew up in Japan, and my grandmother used to have a set of apartments in the back of the house. And every night at 5 o'clock, the ladies of that were in the apartments would come down to wash their rice. And so I would pump the water for them. And then every once in a while, they'll give me a 5-yen coin. And I would be ecstatic and to the moon. So I'll pump even harder. Whoops, I really need to get used to this. I pump even harder, and they'd laugh at me and, really encourage me. But this was a gathering place for them to meet every night, to gossip a little bit, to catch up about family. And, I realize it's inevitable that as time went on, this pump was going to go away. But, everybody wants clean water and indoor plumbing. But as this pump went away, so did the gathering place for the ladies. And, whoops. This is what it looks like from the back window of our house now. And this is my long-winded way to tell you the extent of the detail that our innovators think about. They think about, if they bring their innovation in, what is that going to do? Are the benefits going to outweigh some of the changes that it's going to create? Is it going to be a balanced effect? Or are they going to do something through the infrastructure, the culture that is so important? So they think about if it's do no harm. So if you can remember that, do no harm. I'm going to switch gears again, and I want to tell you about our project, which, whoops. I'm sorry. I am having a terrible time with this. But anyway, before I tell you about the project, I told you about the word passion. The other thing they need to do, and they do, is that they listen to the people that they're helping. And they are compassionate and thoughtful to include the people that they are helping. And lastly, what I just told you about, do no harm. So these are the qualities that we find in the people that run through our competition and that are winners. We didn't necessarily go looking for these qualities, but we found that those were common. So now I'm going to switch gears and tell you about the competition. So it's a competition to find the best wireless innovation to make social impact. It has to be cross-collaborative and cross-disciplinary. We have 70 finalists already, 27 winners that are running around 40 countries. And although we've only given $4.2 million, they'd been able to leverage that and increase their funding in millions. They've touched 40 million lives already, but they expect to touch 64 million more, 64 million in total. And in the VC world, 20%, 25% expect to reach market, but 62% of our folks have already reached market. 62%. So now, without further ado, we're going to have a short video that'll introduce you our winners.
The Wireless Innovation Project invests not only in breakthrough technologies, but in the teams that can make these a reality for so many people around the world.
Too many people are getting sick from preventable infectious diseases. For example, in Haiti, cholera is a prevalent pathogen. We're working with the Emerging Pathogens Institute to test the water and identify cholera in that water before it has a chance to get into people and make them sick. PathViz is a total solution to detect infectious disease in water in patient samples.
We take a sample and we put it into a test cartridge that has some disease-specific reagents and some beads. When you put that test cartridge underneath a cell phone camera, we're able to see the particle motion caused by those disease reagents.
By monitoring disease outbreaks in real time with locational information, aid organizations can effectively and efficiently distribute their resources.
What's inspiring is listening to those work at a very micro level to solve a specific issue, working through this program to bring it to scale and apply it on a global stage for scalability and real global impact.
Globally, we're focusing with large-scale poaching and killing of wildlife for commercial trade. It's leading to the decline of wildlife across the planet, and we're trying to create a product that will enhance law enforcement in the ground. Viper is a system to put a gunshot detector on a radio collar that we would put on wild animals.
People have been trying different approaches and they're using different sensors, just motion tracking with GPS or other sensors. But the typical problems are delay, so using GPS and realizing that the animal is not moving anymore could be due to sleeping or due to poaching. So the unique thing about Viper is that it produces an alert immediately once there is a gunshot fired. It detects the ballistic shock wave that is generated by the bullet, and it immediately sends an alert with the GPS location of the animal to authorities.
The infrastructure for wireless already exists, and now you can put a layer of applications on top of that infrastructure and do amazing things actually at a very reasonable cost.
DreamSafe stands to impact the 2 billion currently unbanked men and women around the world by giving them a digital footprint, a credit score, and bringing them into the formal financial economy. What DreamSafe will enable women to do is to join the financial services sector where they are. So we're meeting women where they are. We're meeting them in their savings groups where they're pooling money with paper, pencil, lock pad.
With DreamSafe, they can now take all of that goodness and really accelerate it, starting small businesses that break the cycle of poverty, spending less time on the minutia of managing financial transactions and more time on getting together and really solving bigger social problems.
So it's been great to see how the Wireless Innovation Project will be able to be the catalyst to take these great ideas to something which is actually working and servicing the communities that the ideas seek to support.
So I'd like to introduce you to our third place winner, which is DreamSave. And it's Sarah Emerson and Wes Wasson. Where's the photographer? We'll look that way. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone will go over there. Okay. Second place winner is Viper, George Wittemeyer, and Akos Ledesky. You have to look this up. Thank you. Thank you. And first place winner is Pathis. Whoops, I'm sorry. Tamara Kinzer, Catherine Clayton, and I'm sorry, Steve Werley. Sorry about that. Okay, maybe you want to turn this way. Whoops, no.
Just kind of angle?
Yeah, thank you. Great. So I wanted to tell you a little bit about the baskets. I've told folks before. So these are recycled telephone wires that are made by sustainable business in the continent of Africa. It's kind of symbolic of from the wired to wireless, and also the fact that we're supporting a sustainable business. Thank you all very much.